Welcome to our cell meeting for this morning, our super cell meeting for today. This morning, I am going to be talking about something, that is the secret to success, right? That thing is the secret to success. And just go to the chat room. If you think you know what I'm going to talk about, go to the chat room. Just type one word. One word you believe is the secret to success. One word. Without that one word, no matter what you do, you can't win. But with that one word, you can win, right? What is that one word? That one word that is the secret to success. Faith. No. Even the Bible says faith without action is useless. Hard working? No. Ambition, mindset, obsessed, belief, perseverance, interest, commitment, consistency, action, discipline, brokenness, dedication, love, determination, momentum, consistent. Yeah, some people are coming close, but you're not getting the word I'm looking for, right? No excuse, leadership, passion, diligence. Everything you mention here, without that one word will crumble. Everything you mentioned, without that one word I'm looking for, everything will crumble. Circles, mindset, discipline, vision, understanding, God, accountability, value, faith, duplication. No. Get your teammates into this meeting. The one word I'm looking for is repetition. Repetition. That's the one word. Repetition is called the mother of all skills. Repetition is the mother of all skills. To repeat something over and over and over and over again is the mother of all skills. And that word is something that if you hold it, if you run with it, it is going to lead you to greatness. Repetition. I'm going to talk to you about the power of repetition, right? The power of repetition. And as I speak, I want you to let what I say flow through you. Let the words flow through you. Try to put yourself in what I say. And you will gain a lot of value from it. So I'll be talking about the power of repetition. Because this is one thing that a lot of people don't do. Most of us are so impatient. We come in to handle a venture. We do it the first time, do it the second time, do it the third time, and we abandon it. We say we're running the 90 days game plan. And you started. Day one, you did what you needed to do. Day two, you did what you needed to do. And then you quit. You stopped the process. You stopped repeating the process. You want to learn how to make calls. You do the first one, you don't get results. You do the second one, you don't get results. You do the third one, you don't get results. You quit. You want to learn how to close people down. You try closing the first person, you don't get it. You try the second time, you don't get it. The third time, you quit. Repetition is the mother of all skills. Yes, some people say consistency, which is the same thing. But I wanted that word repetition because that word tends to make it sink deep. I'm going to be giving you some quotes. And using those quotes, I'm going to explain to you why you should persevere in repetition. Why you should persevere in doing that thing you are doing if you want results for yourself. I want to start by letting you know this, that a river does not cut through rocks, does not flow through rocks because of its power. When you see a river flowing through rocks, you see a very big rock and river flowing right through it, going out the other side, that river is not flowing through the rock because of its power. It is flowing through that rock because of its consistency. That river has been hitting that rock, etching out the rock for millennia, for ages, millions of years. And over time, it was able to create a hole through the rock. It was the consistency and not the power. What I'm trying to tell you is that if you are bent on repeating your task professionally, you do your task, you correct yourself, you do your task again, you take corrections, you do your task, you learn the lessons, you correct. But if you are consistent in repeating, you will become massively successful, because they say repetition is the mother of all skills. According to Will Durant, he said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. Excellence is not an act, but a habit. To become excellent at something is not something you just arrive at, you just do at once and say, wow, this guy is excellent. No. But you have developed that habit of doing that thing over and over and over and over again. And now you have gotten so good that it doesn't seem to be a challenge as you do it anymore. I remember when I started presenting, it was very difficult presenting. I will be doing my presentation, I'll be looking at the slides, I'll be forgetting things. But I got to an extent where I started presenting, it will be as if I am, I just move out of my body. One part of me is there making a presentation, and the other part of me is thinking about a vacation in the Philippines. And I could really see myself in that vacation, enjoying myself, do what I'm doing. I'll be completely engrossed in the vacation, but I also know that I am completely engrossed in my presentation. It's as if there are two people existing simultaneously. This became possible because I presented and presented and presented until it became a habit for me. Excellence is not an act. Excellence is a habit. It is something that you have gotten so used to because you have done it repeatedly that you become very good at it. So if you want to grow your business and become successful, you want to become excellent at the 7 skills involved in our business. The 7 skills: prospecting, invitation, presentation, follow-up, close down, getting people started, promoting events. You want to get excellent in these skills, and to get excellent in these skills, you want to make practicing these skills a habit. Do it over and over and over and over again, and you become excellent. According to Darren Hardy, he said, little things done consistently over a period of time will lead to enormous differences in results. Now, one of the main problems many of us have is that we want to do big things at the same time, at once. No. You don't develop your 6 packs by doing all the exercises in the world in one day. You don't. You develop your 6 packs by doing the correct activity over a period of time. Little things done consistently over a period of time will lead to enormous differences in results. Those little, small, insignificant things you do: read a book daily, do your enter the presentations daily and listen to the presentation, do your daily invitations. All those things you do daily, when you compound them over a period of time, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you see that you are a totally different person from the person you were before you started. These little things compound and create enormous results. And that is because you repeat them. over and over and over again. Imagine you run one presentation every day for the next year. That means you will have done 365 presentations in 1 year. Can you imagine how good you will be with 365 presentations behind you? So you see, it is important that we don't neglect these little things we do that helps us develop our skills. Because the more you repeat, the better you get at what you do. Little things as simple as attending the cell meetings every day. You think you're not benefiting anything by attending the cell meetings every day. There are 52 weeks in a month, in a year rather, right? 52 weeks in a month, multiplied by cell meetings you attended 5 days a week. It means you must have attended 260 cell meetings. If each cell meeting is 1 hour, you attended 260 hours of training in 1 year. There is no way you won't be way better than your comrades. There's just no way. But these are very seemingly insignificant activities that builds you to become the juggernaut in this business and in life you want to be. According to Zig Ziglar, he said, repetition is the mother of learning, the father of action, which makes it the architect of accomplishments. Whatever it is you want to accomplish, you must learn to repeat the activity. Because the more you repeat the activity, the better you get. The more you repeat, the better you get. The more you repeat, the better you get. Right? And the better you get, the more you take action. And the more you take action, the more the result you create. So don't lose faith. Don't lose hope as you do something and you don't get result. No. Repeat. Right? But always learn the lessons and repeat. So if you do something and you don't get the right result, learn your lessons and repeat it again. Do it better, learn more lessons, repeat it again. Repetition is the architect of accomplishment. We say these things to you because our business is bordered around repeating a whole lot of tasks. And to some people, this task could become boring. You tell somebody to invite people into the presentations, into the Zoom presentations, and the person has done one, done twice, done the third time, does not get the result he's looking for, and the person relaxes. You stop attending the presentations. You stop entering the presentations. You stop inviting into the presentations. And do you know what you benefit, what you get rather, by stopping? You get absolutely nothing. By quitting, you gain absolutely nothing. By continuing and repeating and inviting people, you have the possibility of success. So if you know that stopping will be tantamount to failure, and you don't want to fail, why do you stop? If you know that stopping will cause you to fail, and you know you don't want to fail, why do you stop? Why do you stop? So you might end up blaming the system. This one is not working, that one is not working, all these things, and you stop. By stopping, you have failed. But the reason you blame the system is because you didn't want to fail. You felt if I do this thing, I should be able to succeed. And you are doing it, and there is a possibility of success in it. And instead of continuing, you decided to stop. You fail. But when you keep on doing the activity over and over again, it compounds, and you begin to see the result you're looking for. John Wooden said there are 8 laws. The 8 laws of learning are 1, explanation, 2, demonstration, 3, imitation, 4, repetition, 5, repetition, 6, repetition, 7, repetition, 8, repetition. Those are the laws of learning. Number 1, explanation. It is explained to you. Number 2, demonstration. You demonstrate it to the person. Number 3, imitation. The person does it on his own. Number 4, repetition. The person does it again, does it again, does it again, does it again. These are the 8 laws of success, of learning. Explanation, demonstration, imitation, repetition, 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 repetition. If you don't repeat an action, you cannot get good. It's the mother of all skills. Somebody said repetition builds perfection. No, repetition does not build perfection. Nothing is perfect. Repetition does not build perfection. Repetition breeds mastery. The more you repeat, the more you master the activity. It brings mastery. Whatever we plant in our subconscious mind and nourish with repetition and emotions will one day become reality. L. Nightingale, mentor of Jim Rohn. So whatever we plant in our subconscious mind and nourish with repetition and emotions will one day become a reality. According to Brian Tracy, he said, you become what you think about most of the time. And that is also what is called the secret. You become what you think about most of the time. What you repeatedly think about, what you repeatedly nourish in your mind, what you repeatedly plant in your subconscious mind. You plant it, you emotionally attach to it, you put your mind into it, it begins to grow, and that thing becomes a reality for you. That's the power of repetition. You become what you think about most of the time. If you want to become a 7-figure earner in our business, let that thought be the dominating thought in your mind. I want to become a 7-figure earner. Wake up in the morning and include that in your affirmation. I want to become a 7-figure earner. I am a 7-figure earner. I am a 7-figure earner. I am a 7-figure earner. You say that to yourself over and over and over and over again. And you believe it, you nourish it, you attach yourself emotionally to it by looking at the lifestyle you will live when you're a 7-figure earner, by seeing how you will help people when you're a 7-figure earner, by seeing the kind of car you will drive, the kind of vacations you will go to, by soaking yourself in that, even though you don't have it. If you do that repeatedly, guess what is going to happen to you? You begin to engage in little course corrections. You see, it is not as if you just miraculously arrive at what you are looking for. No. Because you always think about it, at the time you might want to watch Netflix, or you might want to go on TikTok. But because you have been repeating it in your mind, your subconscious mind will tell you, is that how you become a 7-figure earner? By watching Netflix, by going on TikTok, and you will just leave it. And before you know what's happening, you've bought back 30 minutes of your time that you would have spent on TikTok every day. You've been able to buy back the 30 minutes, and now you're using that 30 minutes to do something more constructive for yourself towards attaining your 7-figure goals. And you begin to do these little course corrections in so many areas of your life. And one day you see that you've arrived there. Because you have repeatedly put these 7-figure thoughts in your mind. You're in the office and somebody is distracting you, and you see that you're no longer comfortable. You tell the person, guy, just wait, let me finish my calls. When I'm done with my calls, we'll talk. And you go back into your calls and you make quality calls, you make consistent calls, you make a whole lot of calls, because now you are driven towards going for 7 figures by your subconscious mind. Whatever we plant in our subconscious mind and nourish with repetition and emotions will one day become a reality. According to Muhammad Ali, he said, it is the repetition of affirmations that lead to belief. And once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen. You see, when we do our affirmation, we say the affirmation of champions. I'm a champion. I'm a champion. I'm built for success. I'm a champion that breaks barriers. I'm a champion that, we say all these things. Don't play with it. You know who Muhammad Ali is? Was, rather, right? The greatest boxer of all time. He said it is the repetition of affirmations. These affirmations that you tell yourself that leads to belief. And once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen. I want to let you know, you see, you have the conscious mind and you have the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind accounts for over 90% of your life, of what you do, who you become. The conscious mind is only 10%. Almost everything in our life is controlled by the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is infinitely powerful, more powerful than the conscious mind. Just imagine that you are conscious of every activity you do. Your brain will burst. You are very conscious of every activity you do. You want to raise your hand up, you tell yourself, okay, I'm raising my hand up, I'm bringing my hand down. I take left step, right step, left step, I'm taking right step. There's a car on my right, there's a car on my... You are becoming conscious of every activity. Do you know what's going to happen? Your brain will collapse. But you find out that you cross the road, you don't even know you crossed the road. Some of you have driven kilometers today. You drove yesterday or through yesterday. You cannot remember changing the gear. You cannot remember starting the car. You cannot remember stopping the car. All you know is that you went back, you went out, you came back in. These are unconscious activities that you do. These unconscious activities are controlled by your subconscious mind. Now, let me tell you one thing about the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is very, very powerful, but the subconscious mind is programmed by the conscious mind. So the 10% of the conscious mind, or whatever the percentage is what programs the subconscious mind. You program your subconscious mind through affirmations. When you make affirmations, guess what you are doing? You are telling your subconscious mind what does not exist. Your subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is and what is not. But whatever your conscious mind is telling the subconscious mind is accepting it and is going to make it become a reality for you. So when you tell your mind, I am a champion, I am built for success, I am a champion that breaks barriers, I'm a champion that this, that, you know, your subconscious mind assimilates all these things and begins to work to make them a reality for you. So once the belief becomes deep convictions, things begin to happen. You want to succeed in our business? Believe it. Affirm it. Say it to yourself in the morning and in the evening. Say it to yourself before you sleep. And it will guide your subconscious mind will begin to guide your actions. And your actions will produce a result. According to Norman Vincent Peale, he said, repetition of the same thought or physical action develops into a habit which, repeated frequently enough, becomes an automatic reflex. It means, in other words, when you repeat something, it becomes reflex action. You don't know, you no longer think about it. You just get it done. Like I said to you, when I make my presentation, sometimes it is as if one part of my body is doing something different, the other part of my body is running a presentation. Why? Because it is now reflex action. That is what happens when you repeat an activity over and over and over and over and over again. You want to get good at making calls, you want to get good at these activities, repeat them. You see, when you don't repeat things, you become rusty every time you do it. When you don't repeat over and over again, you become rusty every time you do the same activity. You do 2 calls and you stop. And next week you do 2 calls and you stop. For every time you start the 2 calls, you are rusty. But if every day you make your calls, 5 calls, 10 calls, 20 calls, every day you make it, you become so good that it becomes reflex action. And according to Napoleon Hill, he said, any idea, plan, or purpose may be placed in the mind through repetition of thoughts. You have an idea, something you want to achieve, write it down, and then continue to look at it, to read it, to think about it. Guess what? It is going to be placed in the mind. It's going to be engraved in the mind. It's going to be very visible to your subconscious mind, no matter what it is. Your dream car, your dream house, your dream vacation, whatever you want, engrave it in your mind. Think about it over and over and over again. And it will be engraved in your mind, in your subconscious mind, and it will bring it to pass for you. I've said it over and over again. According to Tony Robbins, repetition is the mother of all skills. Bruce Lee says something. I am not afraid of that one man who has practiced 10,000 skills, 10,000 kicks once. He knows 10,000 different kinds of kicks. Practice them once. Bruce Lee said, I am afraid of that one man who has practiced one skill 10,000 times. I keep telling the story. In 1998, we were preparing for the National Sports Festival. And I was to represent Imo State in karate in 1998. And we went for camp to see those of us that will be selected. I was a black belt then. And there were many of us black belters who were very, very, very good. And we were all training to be selected. But there is this young guy who was attached to our coach. Not a black belter, much younger than us in karate. But the coach took him because he saw the guy was very, very dedicated. And the coach taught him one skill, only one punch, a reverse punch. He taught him just that one punch. And he so drilled this guy on one punch only, one punch. When time for selection came, we all came with our different skills. We practiced over 1,000 skills. And when selection started, with that one punch, this guy beat me and beat every other person to qualify for that weight category with one punch. With that one punch, he went to represent Imo State in the National Sports Festival, beat every other person in Nigeria, and won the gold medal with that one punch. With that one punch, this guy went for the All African Games. And I think he came either second or third with that one punch. That is one skill repeated over and over and over and over again. It taught me a lesson. It's not by how many I know, but how good I am with that one. If it is a third-party course, you learn how to make. Learn how to make the third-party course over and over again and get good at it. If they drop you in the middle of the desert, you can use the third-party course and recruit all the grains of sand in the desert. Learn the skill. Learn that one skill. Get very, 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 very good at it. Repetition is the mother of all skills. Repetition of small efforts will accomplish more than the occasional usage of great talents. Repetition of small efforts will accomplish way more than you have a lot of talent. No, not the great talents, but that small effort over and over and over and over and over. Those calls you make over and over and over and over again, repeating those calls are the things that will lead you to greatness. It is not until you know all the scripts, know everything. No, that one you know, repeat it over and over and over and over and over. And you will see yourself become a master in the business. According to Jack Canfield, repetition is the key to real learning. It's the key to real learning. You see, when they say a teacher learns more than the students, that is true. You know why? Because the more the teacher repeats what he's teaching, the more he's learning. If you want to learn something very, very fast, study that thing and go and find somebody to teach. Find people to be teaching. The more you teach them, the better you get. The more you teach them, the better you get. So you want to get good in this business. Keep on making those calls. Keep on teaching those calls. Keep on repeating those things. Learn the different calls that we have and repeat them with your team over and over and over and over and over again. That is where real learning is. Habits are formed by repetition of particular acts. They are strengthened by an increase in the number of repeated acts. Habits are weakened or broken, and contrary habits are formed by the repetition of contrary acts. So you want to form a habit? Begin to repeat that particular act on purpose. Repeat it over and over again. If you want to break the habits, get a contrary act and begin to repeat it. That's what it is. So if you know you want to build and win, the only way to build and win is to repeat the correct activity. We tell you that this business, the best copycat wins, but you must copy the right cats. So look for the correct activity and learn it and repeat it over and over and over and over and over and over again. I tell you, see, you want to go prospecting, you want to go to speak to people, you want to learn how to give people your business card and how to speak to people directly. Go talk to 30 people straight up. Go talk to 30 people. The first one will be difficult, second one difficult, third one difficult. And the more you go, the easier it gets. By the time you get to number 30, it becomes easy for you to speak to people. You can easily see anybody, introduce yourself to them and tell them what you want to tell them. Because now you have made it a habit. You have repeated it over and over again. It is now something that you can do on your own without issues. So ensure you learn how to repeat activities that lead to success. I told some people, go share 30 questionnaires every day for the next 60 days. And some went shared 2 questionnaires, 3 questionnaires, and came back. I did 3 questionnaires. I said, what happened? Nobody was outside. How can nobody be outside? But the same place you went to, some people went there and they did 30 and came back. You know why they did 30? Because they have made it a habit to do 30. So they do 30 without let up. But when you go out there and you do 5, you do 6, guess what you have done? You have created a contrary activity that you are repeating. So you become good at it. You become very good at working low numbers, very good at doing 4 or 5 questionnaires, because now it is a habit. You have repeated it long enough. But you want to break it, go out there, do 30 questionnaires. The next day, do 30 questionnaires. The next day, go do 30 questionnaires. By the time you've done 30 questionnaires 4, 5, 6, 7 times, it becomes a habit for you. And you begin to create more results. According to Anthony Bourdain, he said, we learn as professionals by repetition, by getting it wrong, getting yelled at, and doing it again. That is how we learn. We get it wrong. We repeat something. We get it wrong. We get yelled at. The yelling process is the correction process, right? And we do it again. And we repeat it again over and over and over again. The more you do it, the better you get. Until it gets to a point where you are now a master. Sometimes you see kids do something and you shout at them, why are you doing this thing? Papa, don't you have sense? But you see, you also went through that process. But now you're no longer doing it because you're now a master at the activity. That is how learning is done. We're going to make mistakes, but we'll repeat the activity again. Take corrections, repeat it again. Take corrections, repeat it again. And in the long run, you get better. Only constant repetition will finally succeed in imprinting an idea in the memory of the crowd. Who said this one? No other person than Adolf Hitler himself. And this was what he used to win the German people and to move them into the Second World War. Constant repetition will finally succeed in imprinting an idea in the memory of the crowd. Why do you think we talk about the Kingsman's Project over and over again? Why do you think we repeat it over and over again? Because we know that constantly repeating it will imprint it in the memory of the crowd. If you're not talking about the Kingsman's Project, if you're not pushing the cell meeting, you're not selling the cell meeting to your team, you're not selling the Kingsman Project to your team, guess what? You are not imprinting in them the blueprint for success. Only constant repetition will finally succeed in imprinting an idea in the memory of the crowd. So say it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Let them be hearing it. Let them be hearing about the Kingsman's Project. Let them be hearing about how they can raise 5 Kingsmen in the organization in 60 days. Let them hear about it over and over again. Don't get bothered whether they're doing it or not. Just keep repeating it. Repeat it. You call them, you talk to them about it. You call your teammates, you talk to them about it. You talk to them about the cell meeting, why it is important to attend the cell meeting over and over and over again. Don't get tired. Adolf Hitler was able to do it, and he moved the world into war. Why don't you do it and move yourself into financial freedom? When you keep quiet, when you don't repeat things to your people, guess what? Nothing is being repeated to them. When nothing is being repeated to them, something is being repeated to them in the form of nothing. And guess what they will do? They will do that thing which is being repeated to them, which is what? Nothing. So if you are not repeating to your team what they should do, some other activities are being repeated to them that they should do. Netflix is repeated to them. TikTok is repeated to them. Instagram Reels or whatever they call it is repeated to them. And they go into those things over and over again that are repeated to them, and they get lost in the crowd. If you want a team that is streamlined towards the activities of the business, that a team that's going to do the activity to create the success that you want in your team, you must champion repeating the activities to them. You must champion repeating the cell meeting. You must champion repeating the presentation. For so many people, your teammates don't even know we have weekend presentations. They don't even know we have Zoom presentations. We just mention it during the cell meeting, and you don't even rub it in. You don't tell them, you know what? Let's get some of your people into our presentation this evening, this afternoon by 2 o'clock. Let's get some people into the hall by 2 o'clock. Let's get some people into the Zoom meeting by 2 o'clock. You don't mention to them. So because of that, they are not aware. And because they are not aware, you don't have a business. According to Mark Nepo, he said, repetition is not failure. Ask the waves. Ask the leaves, ask the wind. Repetition is not failure. Ask the waves. The waves continue to come and go over and over and over again since the creation of the world. They're not tired yet. They're still coming. The leaves continue to shake, to sway in the winds. The wind continue to blow. Repetition is not failure. When you repeat something, you don't succeed, repeat it again. Learn the lessons, repeat it again. By repeating, you learn over and over and over and over again how things ought to be done, and you're able to create the same success. Within the course of this training, I've been talking about repetition. I've been repeating myself over and over again. So many things I've repeated over and over again. It is the same lesson I'm trying to make you understand. Repetition breeds mastery. According to John Eliot, thinking is a habit, and like any other habit, it can be changed. It just takes effort and repetition. Simple. So many of us are a slave of our mind. We're a slave of our thought pattern. We tell ourselves that this is me, I cannot change it, I cannot do anything about it, this is me. This is not you. You're a human being. And one thing about a human being is that you can change any habits by the way you think, by changing how you think. All you need to do is first of all ask yourself, is this habit serving me? So one thing I want every one of us to do today, go and write out all those habits that are not serving you well. All those habits that position you for conflict with other people. All those habits that make you not take your business serious. All those habits that make your teammates not take you serious. All those habits that you think are responsible for your not succeeding in the business. Write down those habits. Then write down a contrary habit. The opposite to that habit. If the habit is watching TikTok, the contrary habit is watching a video training. Something that is contrary to the TikTok. So instead of watching TikTok for 30 minutes, you want to watch a gym run training for 30 minutes. Write down the contrary habit and begin to practice the contrary habit over and over again. And you will see results. Habits that get you into conflict with people. Write them down and write the contrary habits. And just like anything that you want to change, by effort and repetition, you can change it. According to Jane Fonda, she said, we can not always control our thoughts, but we can control our words. And repetition impresses the subconscious, and we are the masters of the situation. You might not be able to control everything you think about, but you can control everything you say. And the more you say these things, the more you are also reprogramming your subconscious mind. The more you say, the more you impress it on your subconscious mind. And that will make you the master of whatever is happening around you. So our words are powerful. Let's control the words that come out of our mouth. Let's use our words to impress on our subconscious. I told you that you can program your subconscious mind by what you say, by the affirmations. So bring out those right words and program the subconscious mind for yourself. And of course, according to myself, the legendary Kelechi Anodere of old, repetition breeds mastery. You want to get good at something, repeat it. You want to become a master at something, repeat it. The more you repeat, the more you repeat, the more you repeat, the more you breed mastery, the better you get at that particular activity. So, ladies and gentlemen, you want to change your life. You want to give yourself the good life. Repetition breeds mastery. What you have listened to today is a core secret for success. If you decide you want to start repeating activities, the good activities, if you repeat them over and over and over again, within a very short period of time, you will begin to see massive results in your life, massive results in your business, massive results in everything you do. Because when you repeat these activities, you get formidable, right? So I believe we all got value from the meeting this morning. What I wanted to do was to just make you see this thing from a very different perspective. And as you go out to do your business, as you go out to do your activities, remember that the more you do, the better you get. The better you get, the more results you produce. The more results you produce, the more you're able to do more, create more value, create more results, and you become a master. Repetition breeds mastery, right?